Once upon a time, there was a young boy named Jacob, who often wondered about life's mysteries and what it meant to have goodness inside of you. One warm evening, Jacob sat under the big, starry sky with his wise grandfather, who everyone in the village called the Wise Gardener. He always had the most wonderful stories, and Jacob knew tonight would be special. "Grandpa," Jacob asked, looking up at her with wide eyes, "how do we know when we have the Holy Spirit inside of us? Is it like a magic power?" His grandfather chuckled softly, his eyes twinkling as he patted his hand. "Not magic, Jacob, but it's very real. The Holy Spirit brings quiet signs, and when you see them, you'll know it's with you." Jacob leaned in close, curious about these signs, and listened as he began to share. "Jacob," he started, "imagine a storm, with thunder roaring and lightning flashing. It's loud and scary, right?" Jacob nodded, thinking of a storm that had come last month, shaking the whole house. "But now imagine that in the middle of that storm you feel calm. You don't know why, but somehow you're not scared anymore. That's the first sign of the Holy Spirit, feeling peace, even when things are frightening." Jacob thought about this. "So if I feel calm in something scary, that's a sign?" "Yes, exactly. The Spirit gives us peace when we need it most," he said with a smile. "It's like having a warm hug, right when you need one." He continued, "The second sign is the urge to help others without needing to be asked. Like when you saw Mrs. Thompson carrying groceries and ran over to help her." Jacob remembered that day. He'd noticed the elderly woman struggling, and before he knew it, he was there, helping her carry her bags. "Why did you help her, Jacob?" his grandfather asked. Jacob shrugged. "I just felt like I should." "Exactly," he said, nodding. "The Spirit moves us to be kind without expecting anything in return. It's like a gentle push, reminding us to be good to others. The Holy Spirit makes our hearts bigger and fills them with kindness." He leaned closer, his voice softening. "Now, the third sign is when you receive answers to questions you didn't even know you had. Sometimes the Holy Spirit speaks to us in silence, giving us wisdom when we need it most." Jacob looked puzzled. "You mean like when I think of an answer without even trying?" "Exactly," his grandfather said with a nod. "Sometimes when you're alone and quiet, you suddenly know what to do or have a good idea. That's the Spirit guiding you." Jacob sat quietly, thinking over these signs. Peace in hard times, kindness that feels natural, and wisdom that comes out of the blue. Each one felt like a gentle reminder that he was never alone. "Remember, Jacob," his grandfather said, "the Holy Spirit doesn't shout, it whispers. It's in the small, quiet ways that we know it's there. So be still sometimes and listen. You'll be amazed at what you find inside yourself." Jacob nodded, his heart full of wonder and warmth. That night, he went to bed feeling different, lighter and happier, knowing that the Spirit's quiet, gentle guidance would always be with him. Sometimes we're so busy that we forget to listen to the quiet whispers within. Today, let's all take a moment to notice these gentle signs and remember that even in the smallest actions, we're connected to something bigger.